All right, fellas, take notes, take notes, take notes. If you struggle to lose fat, if you struggle for the aesthetic look, this video is going to be for you. Now, if you actually implement these tactics, if you implement these techniques, you will actually get lean. So, the aesthetic method is all about you losing stubborn fat and gaining muscle to become aesthetic and finally be comfortable with your shirt off. Now, I know a lot of you guys say stuff like you're waiting till summertime to get lean and all this stupid shit. You want to be lean year round for health reasons, but also most people who try to get lean right before summer, guess what? They end up being fat as shit during summer, so then they're in the pool with their shirts on. All right. So if you're ready to lock in, make sure you follow these steps, take notes, listen to it twice if you have to. I know the video where I talked about losing 40 plus pounds and 7 inches off my waist is going to be very similar to that, but a lot of people took notes and actually took action and they saw the results. So this will be much of the same. So this video is not for you. If you make excuses and you're lazy, if you don't want to lose fat and maintain muscle, this isn't for you. If you complain about things you aren't willing to work for, this isn't for you. If you aren't willing to improve your nutrition, which is going to be literally 80% of your results, this is definitely not for you. If you aren't willing to be disciplined, this isn't for you, and you're cooked in all aspects of your life. Not gonna lie. Now, this video is for you if you're not comfortable with your shirt off currently, if you're wearing baggy shirts constantly because you're ashamed of your physique, if you're constantly failing to get the aesthetic look, good shoulder waist ratio. Now, speaking about that, that's like one of the trickiest things out there because people don't realize that it's rather simpler than you think it is. However, if you approach it the wrong way, you'll never get there. Like if you're constantly focusing on losing weight or if you're constantly focused on gaining weight, then you're not going to get that physique that you're looking for because you want to focus on building muscle, right? And getting to a low body fat percentage because the goal is high muscle, low body fat. That's going to give you that shoulder waist ratio, all right? And for women as well, a lot of times women want to tone. What they really want to do is lose fat while maintaining muscle mass. All right. If you're sick of being disrespected by the huz, if you're sick of being the huz last options and getting ghosted, if you want to see your abs and get on body game, this is for you. All right. A lot of people ask for the V cut abs, the V cut shoulders, all that stuff. This is what's going to get you there. Now, we all know losing fat could be a struggle, right? Especially when you're doing a bunch of cardio and shit. Now, if you're doing a bunch of cardio and you're not seeing the results you want, then this video is definitely for you. If you try the diets, the hours of cardio, the cutting out foods you love, and the results don't last, this video is for you. All right. If you're going, I'm going to show you exactly how to drop fat, build an aesthetic physique, and do it with minimal cardio. Now, that's going to be optional though. If you want to do cardio, you can. You don't have to do it. All right. Because realistically, anyone who's doing extra cardio is to compensate for a higher calorie number. If their calories are lower, they don't need to do the shit. All right. Even for heart health as well. Now, as far as my story, when I got fat as shit, right? I know some of you guys know this, some of you guys don't, because a lot of you guys are new here. But anyways, during the time when I put on a lot of fat, obviously I switched to overnights, right? Working, and I was going through a toxic breakup, developed bad eating habits, especially after work. Because like I said, I work overnight, starve myself through the night, thug it out. And then there was a McDonald's, right? I know it's called McDonald's, but I call it McDonald's. There's a motherfucking McDonald's right next to where me and my brother stayed. So I would get McDonald's right before going home, eat a bunch of fucking goofy shit, like 4,000 calories worth. And then guess what? Right after that, I would, go to sleep. So obviously that wasn't conducive to my goals at all, right? Lost a lot of confidence, stopped posting recent pictures. Everything I was posting was some old shit, It's kind of like those ugly chicks that haven't looked good in 2 years, so they post old shit. But anyways, I avoided the mirror and the scale, right? And like I told you guys, I was beefing with the dryer because all my clothes were getting smaller, and I was like, "Yo, this dryer's not working, man. Man, I'm gonna go to the laundromat." Nope, same result. All right, it's because I was getting bigger, not the clothes were getting smaller. Simple. People ask me why I stopped working out when they saw me, and that was the final straw, right? Because every time I used to come home visit my parents, right? I used to go to a certain gym, and they used to be like, "Oh shit, you looking crazy? Oh, you got some new tattoos? Oh, you got leaner?" Always saying something like that, but that specific time when I went, when I put on a lot of fat, they're like, "Oh, why'd you stop lifting?" I was like, I didn't," and they're like, "Oh," I was like, "Damn, I fell off that hard, bro." And I'm not talking about haters. I'm talking about I'm talking about the most positive people at that gym. They legit thought I stopped lifting. They're like, "Everything good, man? You stopped lifting?" It's like, bro. So that's when I knew I was definitely I need to lock back in, right? So the reason my fat loss journey was sustainable in general, is because I focus mostly on the identity shifting and the compound effect, right? Because If you're consistent in the right direction long enough, you get to your goals every single time. It's literally that simple, right? If you put 100 pounds of fat onto me right now, I will change nothing that I do, and it will come off eventually. Maybe in a year, maybe in 15 months. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to do the inputs that I need to do, right? And that takes a lot of stress off of you when you realize that just being consistent will help. So if you've been trying to lose 100 pounds for the past 10 years, right? And you've been failing on different diets, and you tried this diet for 3 months, you tried that diet for 3 months. Your issue is not only that you're not identity shifting and thinking of the leanest version of yourself, but you're not realizing the power of the compound effect. So if you're trying to lose 100 pounds in a year, all you got to do is lose 1 to 2 pounds. Well, actually, all you got to do is lose 2 pounds per week, right? If you weigh like 310 pounds, just lose 2 pounds per week by being in a deficit, and guess what? You'll be 210 lean by the end of the year. All right, the year is going to pass anyways. But a lot of people don't realize that. Another thing is, a lot of people don't want to change their identity. They want the results. If you don't permanently change your identity to the best version of yourself, guess what? You're never going to decookify yourself. All right. Another thing is, I didn't try to lose it all at once because I realized, like, okay, well, it took me a minute to gain these 40 pounds. So if I can lose it, if I can lose these 40 pounds in 5-6 months, no muscle loss and no saggy skin, then that's cool. All right. I gradually reduced the calories and stayed meticulous with my intake, right? Therefore, I didn't have to do hella cardio, and therefore I didn't have to do any goofy, crazy diets and shit like that. All right. And I was able to keep my strength up to preserve the muscle while losing fat because I kept the calories, I mean, I know a lot of people think 2,000 calories is low, shit like that, 2,100 is low, but I ended around, 1,900 to 2,100, that range. At the end, I didn't think that was too low, and I was able to lift heavy on it. All right. So step 1 is going to be executing nutrition. Excuse the red letters. It's going to be executing nutrition. Matter of fact, let me fix the red letters right now. All right, yeah, that background is hurting my eyes, so we're back now. So step 1 is going to be executing nutrition. Matter of fact, the reason it's step 1 is because this is pretty much the most skipped step, the most important step, and the highest return on investment step. All right, if you do everything else but you don't execute nutrition, you're wasting your time. All right, remember, you want to be efficient, but it's not even about efficiency. It's about just having the right input. Like, a lot of times you guys are like, dang, I want to become aesthetic, I want to lose body fat, but it's like having the wrong resume, right? You go to a job, you go to a job to become a pilot, and the only experience you have is, being a cashier, and you never got your pilot's license. Are you going to get the job or not? No. There's a 100% chance you won't. That's exactly how it is. When you don't lock in on nutrition, you don't track nutrition, there's a 100% chance you're not going to get your results. So the goal is maintaining / building muscle and losing fat, of course. So 0.8 to 1 gram per pound lean body mass protein. All right, because a lot of people are fat as shit. They're like 400 pounds. So I'm not going to tell them eat 1 gram protein per pound, because you're not eating 400 grams in a day, unless you're Jay Cutler. Now, moderate fats to keep your test high. All right, you don't want your testosterone levels tanking. Prep your meals, because preparation is going to be key, guys. It's going to be key. If you don't prepare, you prepare to fail every single time. It might sound corny, it might sound cheesy, but then when that day comes around and you're hungry and you DoorDash, it's because you didn't prepare. Don't cut bread. Don't cut out bread. Don't cut out salt. Don't cut out all sugar, right? You're not, listen, this is my issue, all right? If I'm eating bread and I'm eating sugar from like fruits and shit and protein bars and protein shakes and stuff, and I'm eating hella salt and I'm not fat, right? Is it a coincidence? No, it's because I'm tracking my overall intake, all right? A lot of you guys are not getting fat as shit from eating bread, sugar, or salt. That's not possible, bro. It's just not possible. What you're actually eating is Oreos. That's the sugar you're eating. You're eating hella Oreos. You're eating a lot of fried foods, right? And you're eating, if you are eating bread, it's like some kind of, pancakes or French toast or some shit. You're not just eating wheat bread and getting fat. That's like literally impossible. My first ever cut, I was eating like 10 pieces of wheat bread a day, all right? Which is actually very low calorie. But yeah, because it was within my calories. You're not tracking your calories. If you're doing all this, it's because you're unaware of your habits. Simple. Now, step 2 is going to be strength training at least 4 to 5 times a week, because guess what? If you want to look lean and aesthetic, you're going to have to have you're going to have to have muscle mass under that fat. Because if you lose fat and there's no muscle under there, you're just going to be a skinny surfer dude, right? Literally. And the rep ranges for hypertrophy is going to be 6 to 15, not the 1 to 2 that people say on TikTok. Now, if someone's doing 1 to 2 reps and getting great results, they're probably on gear, right? Or they're just showing you the 1 to 2 reps, and then as soon as they turn off the camera, they go back to doing 6 to 15. All right. Don't switch to light weights because you feel weaker when you're on a cut. Maintain the heavy weight. That's how you maintain your muscle mass. I don't want to see you doing 1 to 4 rep ranges and shit. All right. I don't preach the 1 to 4 rep range. Maybe once a year when you meet up with your homeboys or some shit. but like that's literally wasting time in the gym. All right, unless you're a powerlifter. Track the weights that you're using so you can actually progressively overload. If you don't track your weights, how do you progressively overload? If you don't progressively overload, how do you build muscle? You know what I mean? Now, you want to minimize, not maximize. You want to minimize cardio. Reason being, obviously, cardio is going to burn calories, but it's also not conducive to be doing hella cardio and have hella muscle, right? So what's going to happen is you're going to, while you're in a deficit, right, and you're doing hella cardio, let's say you really want to lose fat and you were working out 0 days a week, all right, and then you go up to working out 5 days a week and also doing 20K steps a day, right? So you went from 5K steps a day, 0 days working out, to 20K steps and 5 days working out. Too much cardio is going to increase recovery demands, all right? It's going to increase recovery demands. What's going to happen is you're going to not have enough energy to recover from both. And then when you don't have enough energy to recover from both, it's going to go into your muscle stores and you're going to be breaking down muscle and you're going to lose muscle in the process. And then you're going to be skinny fat and then you're going to be pissed off because you're working super hard. You are working hard. All right. It's not about working hard. It's about working smarter. All right. Because like I said, you're doing the 20K steps, which is hard work. It's not smart work, but it's hard work. Then you're doing the strength training on top of that, which is hard work, but it's not smart work, doing those together. Your strength training sessions are going to suffer, which means what? It means not only is your performance going down, but your muscle mass is going down because you're losing muscle. All right. You're going to start breaking it down for energy. Another thing is excessive cardio is going to lead to hunger and cravings, right? Like a lot of you guys, you've done HIIT cardio. Even when I do HIIT cardio, well, that was like a fucking year and a half ago. My brother made me do HIIT cardio. But anyways, he made me do HIIT cardio, and I remember I was hungry as shit, and I was like, bro, I know I probably burned an extra 200 calories max. I feel like eating 80,000 calories right now, like literally, right? So usually cardio, HIIT cardio, long cardio is going to spike your appetite hormones, and in a deficit, that's often going to lead to overeating because you're already in a deficit and you're already down bad, right? You're down horrendous. It's just going to make you more down horrendous, all right? Now, too much cardio can also elevate your cortisol. Like I said in the other video, cortisol is your stress hormone. A little bit is fine, but if you're hammering your body with hours of cardio in a deficit, your cortisol is going to consistently stay elevated. Now, obviously, that's going to affect your weight on the scale. So you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm not losing weight. But the worst part of it is there's going to be more, water retention, but also worse recovery. And you're going to see that it's going to be harder for you to lose fat, specifically around the belly. All right. Now, your muscle loss risk is also going to be higher. I'm not going to say it's going to be higher. You're actually going to be losing muscle, right? When you're in a deficit, your body has limited energy and you're doing too much cardio, you're going to force your body to burn a lot through cardio. And in order to actually recover from that, guess what? Like I said earlier, you're going to use muscle mass. All right, you're going to use muscle mass. So you want to use cardio as a supplement, not the main tool. The main tool is going to be strength training and nutrition. The main tool is going to be strength training and nutrition. All right, very, very simple. A lot of people do a lot of cardio and they get the what? The flat, tired, soft bag of milk look instead of the lean, muscular look. All right, like I said earlier, it's those small nuances, like not overdoing cardio, because everyone thinks work hard and you get results. That's not how it works. All right, you got to be intentional and work smart. All right, simple. All right, step 4, accountability. Now, obviously, having a coach can help, or holding yourself accountable, which is what this journey is about. During this journey, you're going to be able to hold yourself more accountable over and over time. Easiest way is to raise your standards and be around, a mentor, obviously with higher standards. Because like I said, for my clients, generally their standards are too low, and then I raise their standards, and then they hold themselves to that standard that I hold them to, and then I enforce that standard, and then guess what? They start doing what they need to do. That's what it's really about. All right, that's what it's really about. It's not just a meal plan and nutrition plan. It's raising your standards, and really, it's gonna make you believe in yourself because you never even reached that high. Like, I just wanted to lose, 4 inches off my waist and get down to 36-inch waist. I didn't know I could have abs at this age. Yes, you could have abs at 30, 40, 50, 60. Yes, you can if you put in the work and you follow the formula. It's that simple, right? It's hard to hold ourselves accountable when we have developed bad habits. So when you remain objective and you look at your habits, you look inwardly, you take inventory, and you start to have better habits, you're going to start to surround yourself with people with better habits, higher standards, and it's going to affect you as well. Because I've seen, every time I link with one of my friends and we work out, I look at what they're doing. I'm like, okay, this nigga's locked in. Oh shit, this dude's leaner than he was last time. Then you hear the routine, you know what I mean? And then that kind of inspires you a little bit. And then you'll tell them your routine, and they'll be like, okay, this nigga's locked in. He's doing this. You know what I mean? But just having those people around you makes you realize that you know, your standards just aren't high enough. All right. If everyone around you is just out of shape and you're the leanest person around you and you're 30% body fat, find a new circle. All right. So client result number one. This is about the exact thing that a lot of you guys struggle with, right? He was lifting in the gym for years, as you could tell, but he struggled to get that look that he was looking for, right? That shoulder waist ratio, that body game look, you know what I mean? And the reason is because the diets were on and off. There wasn't enough consistency. If he would diet to lose the stomach, he wouldn't build enough muscle to actually keep his metabolism high enough to do it, right? Because it would be a crash diet and it'd be unsustainable. So what we did, we focused on high protein nutrition, obviously, right? Very, very good system with majority strength training, not a lot of cardio, just to make sure he's building muscle during the deficit, which he built a lot of muscle during the deficit, right? And he lost 4 inches off his waist. His abs got thicker, right? And he also dropped 15 pounds. However, with the 15 pounds drop, he lost hella fat and gained a lot of muscle during the process, right? And the body game shit going crazy now. Client result number two. Shout out to my boy Mean. Shout out to you. He never had like a structured plan, right? And he was hardworking, definitely hardworking, right? And I was like, you know what? Hard work is nice, but hard work is hard work, right? If you work hard in the right direction, guess what? You're gonna get the results you want. So we just changed the systems, right? And he even looks more shredded than this now. Super, super shredded. Shoulders shredded because he locked in on the nutrition, stuck to the game plan, focused on building muscle, right? Not overdoing it in the gym. You know what I mean? Now he's getting all the baddies, man. He didn't even leave any for me, by the way. So that's something I usually say in the beginning, like make sure you leave some for me. But he didn't leave any baddies for me, bro. He got all the baddies, man. Now, this simple formula works. Why does it work? Because when you prioritize strength training, right, you're going to have more muscle mass because that's where your priority is. Where your priority is, you're going to get more of, right? If you focus on negative, you're going to have a lot of negative results in your life. If you focus on positive, you're going to have a lot of positivity in your life. It's literally that simple, all right? Very simple. High protein nutrition, tracking every calorie, hydrating, sleeping, minimal cardio, all right, so you don't burn out. Consistency over extreme effort, guys, all right? Now, bottom line is, if you want that shoulder waist ratio, if you want to lose that absolutely massive stomach of yours and you don't want to look like Santa Claus, right? Because there can only be one Santa Claus during Christmas. You have to actually show up consistently. Stop making excuses. And the issue with the excuses that you guys make, like I always say, you guys don't even believe them, which is the biggest issue. You're saying stuff and you don't even believe it yourself, all right? So pick between the pain of discipline and the pain of grit. Simple. Now, if you're locked in, ready to lose the fat, ready to see your abs, ready to get on body game and get the benefits, link is in the description, fellas.